Hi, I'm Megan Amundson, and I train and coach nonprofit leaders to be fantastic fundraisers. If you're building a board fundraising program, like my Fearless Board fundraising program, then you may be training your board to have conversation with your organization's current donors to ease them into learning how to fundraise. It's a strategy I strongly recommend. But you may be wondering how to prioritize which donors your board members should be reaching out to. Every organization will think about this differently. But I encourage you to think about it as a bit of a numbers game. In a perfect world, you would have information on all of your donors. You'd have a sense of who they are, what they care about. But of course, most nonprofits don't know much, if anything, about their donors. This is where, in the Fearless Board fundraising program, your board steps in to help. They connect with current donors to help identify who to cultivate to become bigger donors. And along the way, they gather a lot of data on a lot of your donors. I built the Fearless Board fundraising program on an assumption that you already know your biggest donors. If that's not true, and you don't have the staff to reach out and get to know your biggest donors, then your board members should definitely start there. But if my assumption is true, and you already have personal relationships with your biggest donors, then you're looking to have your board members reach out to mid-level donors who haven't gotten personalized contact from your organization yet. And that list, however your organization decides to define a mid-level donor, might be big. And if, in a perfect world, your board members end up reaching out to all of your mid-level donors, it's just a question of how you prioritize that list. So where do you have board members start? There are a lot of ways you can think about it. Maybe you start with people who have given recently, or maybe people who have given amounts at the top end of your mid-level, or maybe people who've given for a long time who are loyal donors. Or maybe people who give multiple times throughout the year and are consistent donors. However you decide to prioritize this list, you want to set your board members up for success in their initial outreach for a donor meeting. This means introducing your board members to fundraising by giving your board members donors most likely to respond to them when they reach out. People most likely to have a really positive reaction to hearing from your organization. This will help your board members start their fundraising journey with great interactions. It will energize them and help them build momentum. Now, you may not know exactly how to segment your list for board member success in their initial outreach, because maybe you don't have any kind of profile for your donors, and you don't know how to sort for donors who are likely to respond. And that's okay. As you do this work, you will get this data as your board members do outreach. And even if you don't start a board fundraising program understanding how to prioritize your donor list, as you do a program, you will learn. Trial and error is the name of the game, and the more data you collect, the better you can segment your list down the road. So create a hypothesis about who in your mid-level list will be most likely to respond to your board members reaching out to meet, and test your hypothesis. Didn't get it quite right? Test something else. You'll get there. And as you learn, your board members will learn too. And as new board members are onboarded into your board fundraising program, you'll be better able to set them up for success as they start. Because getting your board to fundraise is a marathon, it's not a sprint. The longer you do it, the better at it everyone gets. Are you wondering if the Fearless Board fundraising program is right for your organization? Take my survey, which you can find on my website, and find out. And if you're ready to build a program that gets your board fundraising, reach out and let's have a conversation.